So, what if the most terrifying message from the stars wasn't actually a broadcast, but an object? And what if that object wasn't just, passing through, but actually reporting back to something else out there? In 2025, officials confirmed the detection of our solar system's third interstellar visitor, an object they called 3I Atlas. But as they decoded its transmissions and analyzed its totally impossible flight path, they confirmed a fear that humanity has honestly held for centuries. This wasn't just some random rock, it was a messenger. So, let's explore this together. The impossible visitor. So what happens when a visitor from another star system doesn't just tumble through, but actually navigates? When the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile first flagged 3I Atlas in early 2025, it immediately defied every known classification. Unlike our previous interstellar guests, this object showed something that, sent a chill through every Mission Control Center controlled flight patterns. Dr. Karen Meach, a University of Hawaii astronomer famous for her work on Oumuamua, was among the first to point out that its trajectory was, quote, non-ballistic to a degree that is simply not natural. It executed deliberate, impossibly precise course corrections. Its sheer scale was staggering. It was surrounded by this massive 700,000-kilometer coma, a glowing envelope of gas and plasma nearly half the diameter of our own sun. But unlike a comet's coma, this one didn't sublimate chaotically. It pulsed, beating like a cosmic heart with powerful electromagnetic signals at a frequency of 1.42 gigahertz. The hydrogen line, which is pretty famous in SETI circles, firing in a perfect rhythm, once every 147 seconds. As this impossible visitor carved its way through our asteroid belt with surgical precision, one chilling question began to emerge. What if this thing wasn't exploring, but was actively reporting back? When physics stopped making sense. Here's where the story honestly takes a sharp turn from scientific curiosity into a genuine threat. Most objects from beyond our solar system follow these chaotic trajectories, their paths just dictated by gravity. But 3I Atlas showed us something entirely different. Its path allowed it to drift past several planets in ways that maximized gravitational efficiency, a maneuver that reminded JPL engineers of those complex gravity assist routes they designed for probes like Voyager. When celestial mechanics experts like Jacques Lasker from the Paris Observatory ran the orbital simulations backward, they found something, statistically impossible without intelligent intervention. The path of 3I Atlas required navigating through dense meteoroid streams and planetary collision zones with a mathematical elegance that was honestly breathtaking. Its trajectory deviated from a purely gravitational path by a measured 0.05 arc-seconds per hour, a tiny but constant thrust that had no visible source. It moved like a grandmaster's chess piece on a cosmic board, avoiding every conceivable threat with a precision that suggested either advanced, long-term planning, or some kind of sophisticated real-time control. This wasn't just a random space rock wandering through the cosmos. It was, as some scientists began to describe it, exhibiting piloted behavior. The object that defied reality. The unsettling feeling that we were dealing with something far beyond our comprehension only got stronger when NASA, under the guidance of senior JWST scientists like Dr. Jane Rigby, pointed the James Webb Space Telescope toward 3I Atlas. The results that came back didn't just challenge our understanding, they totally rewrote the rulebook. The thermal readings showed a consistent, stable temperature of 120 Kelvin, with rhythmic heat emission patterns that pulsed in sync with its radio signals, a behavior that, honestly, just defies thermodynamics. Webb spectrography revealed materials never before seen, including hyper-reflective compounds that returned almost 99% of the light that hit them. But the most disturbing discovery was a faint recurring electromagnetic anomaly echoing from within. This low-bandwidth frequency at 408 MHz repeated every 147 seconds, matching the exact signature of a known pulsar, PSRB 1919+21. The problem, as any physicist would tell you, was that the object had no spinning core and no magnetic field capable of generating such a signal. It looked like it was mimicking something it had encountered, or even worse, actively communicating with something beyond our detection capabilities. Two visitors, one terrifying pattern. The mystery deepened significantly when researchers cross-referenced the electromagnetic signature of 3Y Atlas with archived data from Oumuamua. The comparison revealed something that honestly sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The exact same 147-second frequency had been detected briefly in Oumuamua's data, a faint 3 sigma detection that was initially dismissed as noise. The crucial difference, though, was that 3I Atlas's signal was a powerful, sustained 50 sigma detection, an unmistakable beacon. This discovery, championed by controversial Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, completely reframed our understanding of both objects. Oumuamua had puzzled scientists, but now a disturbing pattern emerged. The evidence suggested that Oumuamua may have been a reconnaissance probe. If this theory held merit, then 3I Atlas represented something far more significant, not passive observation but active engagement. It was, in effect, the difference between a single radar ping and a fully operational surveillance system. Some researchers now theorize that Oumuamua was the lock, and 3I Atlas is the key, designed not just to observe but to unlock something, whether buried on our planet or awaiting activation in orbit. When space objects make calculated decisions. Just when scientists believed they had mapped 3I Atlas's future trajectory, the object performed a maneuver that, honestly, shattered every remaining assumption. Telescopes in Chile and Hawaii recorded a subtle but unmistakable course shift that couldn't be explained by gravity or solar wind. The object veered slightly off its projected arc, executing a 15-meter-per-second delta V that realigned its vector, bringing it 1/10 of an astronomical unit closer to Earth's orbital plane. To mission analysts at NASA's Deep Space Network at JPL, the implications were, well, alarming. The timing and precision of this maneuver implied conscious decision-making. Even more intriguingly, the maneuver occurred precisely when the James Webb Space Telescope had achieved its optimal tracking position, suggesting the object was not only aware of our surveillance efforts, but was reacting to them. This transformed 3Y Atlas from an astronomical curiosity into a potential confirmation of technologies far beyond our own. It was no longer a passive object of study, it was an active participant in a cosmic dialogue we didn't know we were having, a dialogue that was now escalating. Ancient mathematics from the stars. As if its movements weren't enough, independent cryptographers at the SETI Institute, inspired by the lifelong work of pioneers like Dr. Jill Tarter, uncovered something extraordinary. Using Fourier analysis of the pulse's phase modulation, they found precise mathematical ratios hidden within the signal: the golden ratio, Fibonacci sequences, and the first 100 prime numbers encoded in binary. These weren't just arbitrary concepts, they represent fundamental codes that appear throughout the natural universe. The precision of these patterns suggested a level of mathematical sophistication far beyond random cosmic noise. Even more disturbing, though, was the dynamic nature of these signals. The mathematical patterns weren't constant, they changed subtly, reacting to solar activity and even our own radio emissions. Most chilling of all, researchers detected a brief disruption, a single skipped pulse, that matched exactly with the moment James Webb first locked onto it. The object appeared to know it was being observed, and had responded with a mathematical fingerprint that spoke a language older than human civilization itself. Organic chemistry from beyond the stars. So, James Webb's detailed spectroscopic analysis revealed another, disturbing layer to the 3I Atlas mystery. The telescope detected complex carbon molecules on the object's outer shell, specifically polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which are, the building blocks of prebiotic chemistry. These compounds, as astrobiologists like Carl Sagan have long theorized, are the precursors to life itself. But what was really alarming was the purity and organization of these molecules. Unlike the chaotic mixtures found in comets, the compounds on 3Y Atlas showed 99.9% isotopic consistency, a level of molecular organization that just doesn't occur naturally in space. The spectral lines at 3.3 micrometers, a key signature of PAHs, were unnaturally sharp and clear. Some researchers, including those at MIT under the guidance of experts like Dr. Sarah Seeger, began to theorize that 3Y Atlas might represent a seed ship, an ancient vessel designed not just to explore but to plant the foundations of life on suitable worlds. If this theory held merit, then Earth's location along the object's trajectory might not be a coincidence at all. When Earth responded to the cosmic visitor. When Earth responded to the cosmic visitor, the connection between 3-1 Atlas and Earth became, well, far more unsettling. A classified high-altitude surveillance balloon, managed by the U.S. Antarctic program, detected something extraordinary. The balloon's instruments recorded a powerful microwave burst at 23.5 gigahertz, sharp and centered precisely above the South Pole. Now, at first this was dismissed as interference, but its timing aligned perfectly with another angular shift in 3Y Atlas's trajectory. Moments after the burst, seismic stations that are part of the global seismographic network recorded ultra-low frequency rumbles across the frozen continent. These deep, resonant frequencies were a perfect 0.0068 Hz, the exact inverse of the 147-second pulses being emitted by 3-1 Atlas. The synchronization was just impossible to dismiss as a coincidence. Somehow this visitor appeared to be influencing activity on our own planet, possibly triggering responses from systems buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice. The object wasn't just passing by, it was actively interacting with Earth in ways that suggested a technological sophistication far beyond our current understanding. The Asteroid Belt Death Run. 3. I-Atlas is currently navigating through the main asteroid belt, a phase that presents honestly unprecedented risks. Unlike other objects, 3I-Atlas cuts directly through the belt's core at a low 5-degree inclination, passing through a region with a particle density 50% higher than the belt's average. The object, moving at a blistering 42 kilometers per second, is surrounded by its massive 700,000-kilometer coma, creating unprecedented interactions with the billions of objects in the belt. Planetary scientists at institutions like the Southwest Research Institute are watching with bated breath. As 3Y Atlas moves through this environment with its powerful electromagnetic signature, it's creating disturbances never before observed. While a direct collision remains statistically low, its gravitational and electromagnetic effects could potentially alter the trajectories of other bodies in unpredictable ways, creating a cascading effect or, more concerningly, redirecting the object itself toward Earth's orbital path. This is a cosmic gamble with planetary consequences. Rewiring our solar system's neural network. Scientists have now discovered that 3Y Atlas's interaction extends far beyond simple gravitational effects. Its complex, dusty plasma envelope is actively interacting with the solar system's magnetic field, creating what researchers are calling an electromagnetic web effect. As 3Y Atlas cuts through the inner solar system, it could be generating packets of charged dust that flow along the sun's natural electric currents toward Earth, potentially triggering geomagnetic storms. But the most disturbing discovery is the most recent. Observations from the Allen Telescope Array show that 3Y Atlas has begun emitting a secondary signal, a lower frequency, longer pulse at 700 MHz, pointed directly toward the Orion constellation. As SETI astronomer Seth Shostak noted, a signal not pointed at us is infinitely more chilling. Some researchers believe it's calling for reinforcements. Others think it's reporting back on its findings. But either way, one conclusion seems undeniable. This was never just an interstellar rock. This was a node, a probe, a messenger, broadcasting to something else that is still on its way. The story of 3I Atlas is far from over. In fact, it may just be the beginning of a much larger, more terrifying story. The mounting evidence, the deliberate course corrections, the mathematical signals, the organic chemistry, and now a broadcast pointed toward deep space, all suggest that this object is not the main event. It is a precursor. It is an announcement that our solar system is no longer a quiet, isolated neighborhood. We may have just accidentally triggered a sequence of events that will fundamentally change humanity's place in the universe, and honestly, we are completely unprepared for what comes next. Thank you for watching Space Facts.